That anxiety you feel about falling behind, most people think it means there's something wrong with them, that they're failing. And I believe that too. And it kept me frozen for years. But here's what I learned. That feeling is not a warning. It's a signal most people don't know how to use. So now let me show you what to do so this anxiety stops controlling you. First thing, I know that you feel anxious because you see all these people who already are successful in what you are trying to do, already live your dream life, and you start comparing yourself, which this video is going to solve that. It's going to make you stop comparing yourself. I used to feel so anxious because I was afraid of falling behind on content creation. For example, I saw all these people who had millions of subscribers on their channel and I thought, oh my god, like I tried everything and I still see my videos flop. I would start overthinking, getting anxious, doubt myself, especially that fear of falling behind would grow more and more. I started to think that maybe there was something wrong with me, maybe this is not meant for me, maybe I should stop doing this, until I finally discovered the harsh truth that I learned in the hard way, and I'm going to explain later. Okay, so stay with me. This anxiety does not mean that you are a failure, okay? And I know that it feels so difficult to detach and stop feeling anxious and being afraid of falling behind, especially when results are delayed, when you're doing your best in achieving that goal, but then you are still like in this void, like I like to call it, where nothing is happening and results haven't been manifested into reality. But all of these negative feelings that you're feeling, it means that you care deeply about your goals and your life. In fact, anxiety is not the problem. The problem is when you think that it's a signal to stop, that big goal of yours is not meant for you, just because you started to feel doubt and anxiety. Is when this awareness that you have has no clear direction or next step. And the worst part that is likely happening to you right now is that because you feel anxious of falling behind by the result of comparing yourself with all these people who are ahead of you, the more you freeze. And the more you freeze, the more you're going to delay even more the results. And I know that now you're panicking and worrying about, oh my god, like, I'm officially behind and I'm just a failure. No. Pause for a second. I know how it feels. I went through it a lot of times, especially since I dropped out of high school to pursue content creation full time. But let me tell you, it's quote-unquote normal that you feel this way. Society has been brainwashing us and conditioned us into thinking that all these negative emotions are signals to stop, that thing is not meant for you, that there's something wrong with you. They're deemed as bad. So we need to do everything in our power to stop feeling them. You know, that is not normal to feel them. That's why we learn to use those negative emotions as a tool to stop, as an excuse to not continue to pursue our dreams anymore. And I know that you are the type of person who doesn't want to fit into average and to get brainwashed by society. I know that you want the truth, and here are the 3 things that you need to remove in order to be able to finally use these negative emotions correctly. So first thing to remove is this belief that emotions mean stop, okay? We haven't gotten into the juice, into the depth of it, even though we have already mentioned it before. Okay, so Amy, how can I do it? Here's how. By realizing that this harsh truth that, do you remember I mentioned it before that I'm going to say it? So here it is, which is the fact that discomfort is part of the process. Once you remove the idea that discomfort is not normal, that it needs to be eliminated, everything is going to be easier for you. And don't get disappointed about yourself, about feeling this way, about not realizing that, because it's actually like pretty normal, because our brain is wired like this. since we were monkeys and living in caves, we were constantly hyper aware of danger, about not being attacked by those tigers and bears. Otherwise, we are going to die. And that instinct, that wiring has helped us survive as a species. And that's why we still have it deeply ingrained in our brain, which sometimes can work against us, obviously, because now your brain is associating all these big goals, new habits as those bears and tigers. So one action I need you to take is to visualize. Okay, because this is something that a lot of successful people recommend also, because it's something that is going to help you stop seeing these new big goals as danger, and it's going to help you normalize it. Because as humans, every time we are pursuing something new, especially if it's unconventional or something big and impossible to achieve, we are like pushing against this wall, which is literally our biology and instincts that is keeping us alive, because our brain doesn't feel safe with this new reality, this new goal. So in order to like break this wall and finally make it more easy and effortless for us to achieve that goal, we need to normalize it, as we said before, and visualization does that. So how can we visualize? Okay, so you need to engage all of your 5 senses in order to visualize correctly. You need to see, smell, touch, hear, whatever the goal you want. Most importantly, you need to do it before going to bed and after waking up, because those 2 windows of the day are times where our subconscious is more susceptible and open to information. It's going to get more easily influenced. And if you don't know what the subconscious mind is, if you live under a rock, it is the control center of your life. Literally, because it governs 95%, something like that, of your decisions. So for example, if you consciously want to become rich, then your subconscious mind is going to prevent you from doing that if it was rewired to live in a state that is opposite of that. For example, if you have been living your entire life in a state of poorness, or living in lack, then like your subconscious mind is not going to feel safe with this new reality of abundance. Okay, so that's how through visualization you're going to reprogram your mind, and slowly but surely you're going to, through neural plasticity, reprogram your mind. One great book that talks about it in a scientific way is Becoming Supernatural from Joe Dispenza. It's going to teach also some sort of meditations to reprogram your mind and clear up your energetic field. It's all explained very, very well. And then another thing that is the key to enter in your subconscious mind and actually influence it, that if you don't implement it, visualization and all these methods, affirmations, stats, all this stuff are not going to work for you. It is something that a lot of people forget to do also, which is feeling your emotions. Feel the excitement, the gratitude, happiness that you're going to feel once you get that desire of yours. And on top of that, the reason why visualization is so powerful is that on top of, feeling it, which is very important, by visualizing, imagining your dream reality is going to also influence your mind at a certain extent, because your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and what is imagined. That's how you are able to normalize your new reality, finally break that wall, and it's going to make actions easier for you. If you normalize the fact that you are in fit, in good health, because you're the type of person who goes to the gym consistently, if you fully normalize that identity and that habit, then you're going to do it more effortlessly, even when you are unmotivated and stressed and sad. Like, it's like brushing your teeth. That's how you're going to become the unstoppable version of yourself, because you finally have removed the idea that discomfort means danger, and you finally realized that most growth feels uncomfortable before it feels right, before you're going to reach your breakthrough finally. Second thing to remove is to stop making your emotions yours. Okay, I know that it seems a little bit contradictory and strange, but stay with me. Most of the times when we compare ourselves with all these successful people who are more ahead in us, in our same field, something like that, we get anxious. And most of the times I see people, once they get anxious, they start thinking, oh my god, I feel anxious, so it means that I am behind, that I am incapable. They start making their emotions theirs. But then you need to realize that your emotions are not yours. Emotions come and go. They are the most temporary things ever that exist in this life. So be careful to don't let your emotion dictate who you are going to become. Instead, even though you feel stressed and doubt yourself, you're going to still show up to your goal. So it's going to reinforce the identity of the fact that you are that kind of person who shows up at the gym, who is a content creator, who makes videos consistently. Like we talked about before, once you normalize your identity, all this is going to be temporary, okay? Like we said before, once your subconscious mind is going to normalize your new identity, you're going to let these emotions control you less and less. Third thing to remove is this misconception that we need to stay away from negative feelings. Okay, yeah, we cannot feel sad all the time and be depressed, but the point I want to make is the fact that some people, once they realize that they are feeling sadness or anxiety or doubt, they tend to suppress it, and they also see it as something bad, that it shouldn't happen, obviously. It's something that society says. So that's why there are a lot of people who do that, because of course if you keep doing this, it's not going to work in your favor, and you are still in time to change. Okay, don't panic or stress about it. It's something that society has been telling us. So the second we feel them, we are like, oh my god, it means that this thing is not meant for us, this person is not meant for us, this job is not meant for us, if it feels so difficult. But then a lot of people need to realize that negative emotions are not bad, Instead, we shouldn't use them as enemies and suppress them, but we need to feel them, And the correct way to use them is to use them as a fuel. We can transmute all these negative emotions into our work, into producing some sort of thing. The greatest songs were made when those singers were feeling extreme sadness or anger. Those negative emotions are so powerful that once you transmute them, they can create massive things. They can create a massive impact. So don't suppress them. Now, I feel like a lot of times we expect that a journey of achieving a goal should be linear and perfect and feeling neutral, always ups constantly. But then we need to realize and remember the fact that no, the journey is going to be full of ups and downs. Even if you don't choose to pursue a goal, life is always going to throw you negative experiences. Unless you live under a rock. Oh my god, wait a minute. Yeah, also there, life is going to try you some negative experiences. Unless you die, okay? You are going to still go through ups and downs. Then we need to reframe it as good. We don't have to romanticize bad feelings, obviously, but we need to see it as a way to make us stronger as people without those feeling stress or doubt. How are we going to become unshakable, powerful, and unstoppable? By going through these ups and downs, especially those downs, which is feeling stressful, feeling the uncertain discomfort when you are in the unknown. If we learn to face those challenges that life throws at us and feel those negative emotions fully, we're going to gain something that a lot of people are never going to gain, because they are constantly society tells us, they're constantly suppressing their emotions and avoiding conflicts and challenges. We are going to gain resilience, which is the most important trait when it comes to achieving a goal, whatever the goal it is. Remove the expectation of constant positivity because progress requires tolerance for uncertainty. We are going to become the type of people who are not going to quit the second they feel doubt in themselves or they feel anxious or falling behind or like life throws a challenge. We are going to become the type of person who keeps going despite what the 3D reality currently is showing at us. The 3D reality has no choice but to catch up to the internal identity we have built. And yeah, let me remind you the fact that nothing is wrong with you for feeling this way. When you stop fighting your emotions and learn to use them correctly, they lose their power. And you're going to move forward anyway and become that girl or that guy. Yeah, if you're feeling late, then watch this video because it may not be what you think. So yeah, see you there, reminder.